Hey everyone, welcome back to yet another vlog of Beer with Pizza. This time, we are taking you on one of the most thrilling road trips of our lives through the rugged, remote, and breathtakingly beautiful Spiti Valley. But getting here isn't easy. The roads are among the most treacherous in India, yet, that's what exactly makes the journey unforgettable. We began our 10-day adventure in Bangalore, catching an early morning flight to Chandigarh. By afternoon, we were strolling through the serene Sukna Lake and wandering the quirky rock garden.
So guys, we're at Rock Gardens right now. So this is the place where actually Shersha got shooted, and the cave is pretty big. So I'm showing you the back camera right now.
The day ended perfectly at the famous Pal Dhaba with plates of delicious Punjabi food, setting the mood for the journey ahead. The next morning, we hit the road. A quick stop at Shimla for hot aloo parathas gave us the energy we needed to climb higher into the Himalayas. By evening, we reached our cozy homestay in Narkanda, where we spent the day unwinding and soaking in mountain views. The homestay was quite good, with all basic amenities inside the room and a kitchen as well, and the view from the kitchen and the room was so breathtaking. It also had a lawn where we can just sit and have some bonfire, so it was perfect for a one night stay at a remote location. It also had a common dining area where we can play board games as well. On the second day, we started for our next destination from Narkanda and the landscapes began to change. We crossed Sangla market on the way and also visited the Bhima Kali temple. Snow-capped peaks and beautiful roads led us to the last village of India, Chitkul.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So it's a wonderful morning here at Chitkul. Yesterday we couldn't vlog much of the day because there were some road issues, and therefore it took a lot of time to reach here. But in the next slide, I'll just show you the Chitkul views.
And our riverside camp as well.
Yeah. And yeah, yesterday we also visited Bhima Kali temple. We had a little bit of video of it, but we were not allowed to take cameras, so that's why we couldn't shoot the entire video. But yeah, I will keep you posted on those as well.
We explored the Chitkul village by foot in the morning and it was so peaceful. Then it was time to leave Chitkul and start our journey towards the next destination. By the way, we stopped at Sangla Valley to explore the Kamru Fort as well. Hi guys, we are headed towards Kamru Fort now. It's about a kilometer trek, but too steep. Here are the views. These apples look so tasty. I just want to pluck all of them and have some. So, Kamru Fort is one of the oldest forts in Himachal Pradesh and it is believed to date back over 1,000 years. It once served as the capital of Bushar Kingdom and still preserves its ancient wooden architecture, a perfect blend of history and Himalayan tradition. You can literally see the entire Sangla Valley from Kamru Fort. Walking down the Kamru Fort now, and we had to climb 146 steps and a kilometer of trek, and the view was so beautiful. But yeah, the fort was under construction, so we could not see much, but it was too old and a historic kind of thing.
Too weak, the woods are too weak, so that's why the renovation is going on. So like if you step one step at a time on that fort, it might break through.
Yeah, but yeah, on the way you could find so beautiful apple orchards, and also the views are so awesome. Like Sangla Valley is one of a kind and it's so beautiful. We had some lunch on the way.
Having this food with this view is fascinating.
Just reached Kalpa now and we are going to the monastery here.
Monastery, yeah.
The views are
Show them the
insane. Walking through the streets of Kalpa feels surreal. The old market of Kalpa still carries its Himachali charm. Traditional wooden houses, tiny shops selling woolens and apples, and locals greeting you with warm smiles. It's like stepping back in time, surrounded by mountains. We checked out the Kalpa monastery, which was a small yet beautiful monastery on the hilltop. Then we were strolling around the streets of Kalpa, and it was so beautiful to walk around just doing nothing and walk around the street. We also got some souvenirs from a local shop. Just checked into our Kalpa hotel, and I have something for you. The rooms are very simple, and since it's a very remote location, you cannot expect much from this place. These are all homestays and very simple living kind of a thing. But yeah, the best thing is this. So you just step out of the room and you can see an incredible view. Kalpa is full of surprises, from the thrilling suicide point to the stunning Isle of Kinnaur viewpoint, the peaceful lanes of Roghi village where life moves to the rhythm of the mountains. Every turn here offers a mix of adventure, serenity, and postcard perfect views. We catched a beautiful sunset as well this day. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. So today we'll be going to Tabo, and in between we have a lot of sightseeing right now. We have to visit Nako village. We have to go to, what's the other place? I forgot.
Go Monastery.
Go Monastery, yeah. And there's Poo. There's one more place, Poo. And then we'll just check into our hotel.
Yeah, we will check into a mud house today, so stay tuned for that. And also we'll be having our breakfast and then some lunch on the way. And yeah, do the sightseeing for today. Stay tuned. Bye. We just stopped at one of the points now on our way to Nako Lake. So the views from Kalpa to to the way of Nako just changed drastically. It was
From
all
lush green to brown.
Yes, you can see behind us. It's totally brown now, just like Ladakh. So we couldn't stop ourselves from taking a quick break for refreshments and nature's call. And also we would be heading towards Nako Lake in a while again.
We stopped at Khap Sangam, and this is the point where Spiti river and the Satluj river meets, and you can see the color of you can easily distinguish the rivers by seeing their colors. One is a little bit of light green and another one is brown.
As we crossed Khap Sangam, where the turquoise Spiti river meets the muddy Satluj, the landscape began to change dramatically. The green hills slowly faded, giving way to rugged, barren mountains and winding roads that felt like a gateway to another world, the beginning of Spiti. Hi Atyan, what are you having?
Egg curry and pulao.
How's the food?
Amazing.
We are at Nako right now and having lunch at a dhaba. Wrapped up our lunch and then we started walking towards Nako Lake. It was around a 10-minute walk. Hey guys, so this is the Nako Lake. It's so beautiful, it's so high, like it's at a very high altitude and such a big lake. You can do boating here. And you need to do a trek of about 500 to 600 meters to reach this place. And the 500 to 600 meters may appear a bit more because of lack of oxygen. There are very less trees. Yeah. So you should keep on drinking water, popcorns and aspirin sprays are necessary if you feel breathlessness or something.
And this Nako Lake is actually in the middle of the entire village. So the entire village is covering this lake.
Yeah, it's in Poo subdivision in the Kinnaur district.
Yeah, right. And it's on around 3,600 meters high altitude. So, yeah, you can show them.
See the reflection of the trees and the mountains on the water.
Feels like it's spring right here.
Yes, it is actually. It is almost spring. We reached Gyu Monastery just around sunset. It was getting a little dark and chilly, and the place had this really peaceful vibe. What's super interesting is that it's home to a 500-year-old mummy of a lama, perfectly preserved inside the monastery. It honestly felt surreal standing there in such a quiet, remote spot. At around 8:30, we reached Tabo and checked into our hotel. The room was quite good with a market view, and it was just beside the Tabo monastery. Then we had some hot and soupy Maggie and momos to call it a day because it was super cool here. The next morning was a surprise because we never expected this view from our room.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning, guys.
So we just came for a morning walk in Tabo, and we can't wait to show you the views. It's so beautiful.
We are surrounded by mountains all over us.
Yeah, and this is the view just 2 minutes from our hotel, and from the hotel balcony and room as well. We can see the same things. So you can just see how pretty this is. So we are going to the Tabo monastery, which is the old monastery. It was established in 996 AD. So you can see how old it is. So let's go. And this is the new monastery. And now we will be going to the old monastery. So let's go. Entering the Tabo monastery now, but unfortunately we cannot shoot anything because cameras are not allowed.
So Tabo Monastery is one of the oldest in Spiti, and it is all mud houses and a must-visit place when you are in Tabo. We never thought it will be so beautiful. Right outside the monastery, there is a cute little shop where you can get some souvenirs as well. Then we started our journey towards one of our most dreamiest destination in Spiti Valley, which we have been dreaming about for like the last 5-6 years that we want to go to this place once. And the roads were like difficult, amazing. The views are so beautiful. But yeah, the place where we reached was more beautiful. Check it out. Dhankar Monastery sits right on the edge of a cliff overlooking the confluence of the Spiti and Pin rivers. It's honestly one of the most dramatic locations we have ever seen. Peaceful yet so powerful. Standing there, you really feel like you are on top of the world.
The stupa room, and you cannot
Like, stand straight over here. It's too low. You have to bend yourselves and walk around the place. It has multiple like drawings and pictures.
So this is the meditation cave at Dhankar Monastery, and here you can see coins all over the cave. You can just pray for something and paste the coins here. We also did.
And there's a unique kind of prasad over here. So those are called yak cheese. So you have to just take it and keep it in your mouth. So slowly the yak milk will like
Melt in your mouth, and then you will feel hot, and it will
energize yourself. Yeah. We found a spot in the Dhankar Monastery and just check out the view.
So we came through this door, and I will show you the view. So Dhankar Monastery is a magical place. We would recommend everyone who is coming to Spiti Valley to not skip this place at all. This is like
This is a bucket list place. Like,
yeah.
you can't miss it.
Yeah, this is completely a bucket list place. You should have this in your bucket list whenever you are traveling to Spiti. It's such a beautiful architecture. Like, it's so magical.
From Dhankar, we drove into Pin Valley, and the scenery completely changed again. Lush green patches started appearing amidst the rocky mountains, and it honestly felt like nature had turned up the contrast. The valley is so calm and untouched, with tiny villages and colorful prayer flags fluttering everywhere. It's one of those places where you just want to stop, breathe, and take in the silence.
Guys, we have just checked into our Kaza hotel, and it's just opposite to the key monastery. Let me show the view now. Okay. too sunny.
So we relaxed and acclimatized in the hotel for this day and started the next day with full of energy. First thing, we went to the Kaza market to stock up some essential items, and after that we headed to one of the most dreamiest destination in Kaza.
Good morning from Langza.
So we are at Langza now, and it's at 14,500 feet height. So it's a magical place to see the views behind us.
So in Langza there's a Buddha statue over here and it's surrounded by scenic beauty. So you will check it out in our vlog soon.
Langza is also known as the Fossil Village, and it's honestly one of the most picturesque spots in Spiti. The huge Buddha statue overlooking the valley feels so peaceful, and if you look closely around the village, you can actually find ancient sea fossils scattered in the rocks. It's crazy to think that millions of years ago, this high mountain desert was under the ocean.
Guys, so we are at Comic right now.
It's the highest village of India and it's around 4,587 meters
Which
high.
is equivalent to 15,500 feet. So it's very high. You can have some altitude sickness here.
Always bring chewing gums or some chewing items
And
with you.
Astolins as well. Astolin sprays. You can see the view behind. There are mountains, snow-capped mountains.
Now we'll be visiting one monastery as well
Yeah.
and we will keep you posted on that as
So this is the monastery. We will be going inside now. There's the door.
We are now at the Comic Monastery. Come with us, check out the peace over here.
Yeah. It's so peaceful and beautiful. So you can see the monastery here. A small one, but very peaceful.
After checking out the Comic Monastery village, we headed towards the next destination, which was Hikim. Hikim is a short drive from Comic Monastery, home to the world's highest post office. We actually wrote a few postcards here to send back home and to our friends, and it was such a cool feeling knowing they'll travel all the way from this tiny village in the middle of the Himalayas. After exploring Hikim, we stopped at this super cozy little place called Cafe Piti in Kaza, and honestly, it was just what we needed after a long day of exploring. The vibe here is so chill with great music, warm food, and those typical mountain cafe feels. We tried some local dishes and just sat there for a while, soaking in the view and reliving the whole day's adventure. The next morning, it was again an adventure day in Kaza. So today we will be exploring Key Monastery.
Hey guys, welcome to day 3 at Kaza and we are now at the Key Monastery.
It's a Key Monastery. This is the first part of today, and we are going to explore Key Monastery now. And also the view when we were coming, so it was so good. Like it was just like a wallpaper. We'll put the picture in the vlog as well. So let's show you around the Key Monastery and the places and historic things.
Key Monastery is one of the most iconic spots in all of Spiti. Perched high on a hill, the monastery looks like something straight out of a painting. The view from the top is unreal. Layers of mountains, the Spiti River flowing below, and tiny villages in the distance. Inside, it's calm and spiritual, with monks chanting and butter lamps flickering in the dim light. It's one of those places that just fills you with peace. From Key Monastery, we drove towards Chicham Bridge, which is actually Asia's highest suspension bridge. Standing there with the deep gorge below and the mountains stretching endlessly around was both thrilling and breathtaking at the same time. It's one of those spots that really shows how wild and raw Spiti's landscapes are. Just a little ahead lies Kibber village, a charming little settlement known for its stone houses and incredible views. This village is also famous for snow leopard sightings in winter. The next morning, we started early for one of the most awaited parts of our trip,
Good morning from Kaza.
So we are leaving Kaza now. It's the last day, and we are headed towards
Chandratal.
So that is the most excited part of the trip. So let's see if we can make it to Chandratal if the roads are open and everything are in favors of our luck.
Yeah, I think they said yesterday, right, that it's snowing over there.
We're crossing the mighty Kunzum Pass, surrounded by snow covered peaks and narrow, winding mountain roads. As we got closer, the landscape turned completely barren and magical at the same time. And then finally, there it was Chandratal, the Moon Lake. We have already reached.
Here's the glimpse of the heaven.
Can you spot the lake? Let's go there. The crystal clear blue water reflecting the mountains looked unreal. The air was cold, the silence was pure, and the whole place just felt out of this world. Definitely one of those moments you never forget. After spending some peaceful time at Chandratal, we began our journey towards Sisu. The drive was very dangerous, winding through rocky terrain, waterfalls cascading down the cliffs. By evening, we reached Sisu, a beautiful village on the other side of the valley. The next morning in Sisu was slow and peaceful, the kind of morning where you just sit with a cup of chai, watching the mountains glow in the soft sunlight. After soaking in those last calm moments, we packed up and started our drive towards Manali. The route was absolutely beautiful, passing through the Atal Tunnel, one of the longest tunnels in the world, and watching the scenery change from barren brown mountains to lush green valleys again. Reaching Manali felt like coming back to civilization after days of being lost in nature. We just took a stroll around the mall road, had some good food, and just remembering the incredible trip we had in Spiti. And just like that, our Spiti Valley adventure came to an end. A journey through some of the most unreal landscapes we have ever seen. We booked this entire trip through Suhana Safar, and honestly, the experience was completely out of this world. Everything from the stays to the travel arrangements was seamless, letting us truly enjoy the magic of Spiti without a single worry. Please check description for more details to book a Spiti trip with them. Spiti isn't just a destination, it's an emotion you carry with you long after you have left. Until next time, this is Beer with Pizza signing off from the Himalayas.